Hi, my name is Tamara and this is my professional development artifact for EDFD459 learning spaces. The task was to explore the 6 learning spaces and create this professional development learning artifact for my colleagues as our school is undergoing major renovations and redevelopment. The 6 learning spaces we will be exploring in this presentation include the personal, the liminal, the classroom and the school, beyond the classroom, the group, collaborative and cooperative, and the e-space. We will be exploring the strengths and challenges for both teachers and students, as well as some approaches, strategies, and resources that can be adopted for each learning space. First, we will be looking at the personal learning space. Some strengths for teachers include the ability to learn and grow with their students. This is done through supporting students in their learning and making their learning possible, which in turn helps teachers' personal growth and development as educators. Challenges for teachers can include not being aware of gaps in their knowledge, which means they will not seek or receive professional development that could enhance their teaching and student learning. Another challenge to consider is the ability to teach students learning processing skills due to the time and space available in the curriculum. The personal learning space allows students a personalised pedagogical approach, meaning their ability to learn is enhanced as it is specific to them and works for them. It is also beneficial to encourage learners to manage and be responsible for their own learning. Students may be challenged by their level of self-efficacy. For example, if they have a lower self-efficacy, they may believe it is their lack of ability causing them to fail in learning. In this case, the personal learning space challenges them as they would need help from a peer or teacher to move forward in their learning. Another challenge may be procrastination and a student's inability to use metacognitive skills to complete a task. An approach we could use as educators would be to encourage students in making choices and self-selected goals in their education without being controlling. In doing this, students are positioned to take ownership and accountability for their learning. Strategies can include flashcard study, individual learning spaces or learning plans for different students, and open-ended tasks. Resources that can be used include personalised learning plans, goal cards, and rich assessment or open-ended tasks. Secondly, we'll be looking at the liminal learning space. Strengths for teachers in this learning space include the ability to compare self-learning to student learning from the liminal point and understand how to bridge and connect knowledge to move forward in different ways. Challenges can include not understanding how students pass the liminal stage and how different students are at different liminal stages. In terms of lesson planning, it can also be difficult to plan a unit with minimizing periods of liminality for students, as it means understanding of concepts can be difficult to link together. Students understanding new concepts when moving past liminality can develop their knowledge of a whole concept or branch of concepts, which can further enhance their learning. They can also learn new coping strategies and learn to accept moving past learning obstacles by taking the time and effort to move past liminality. The liminal stage can also unsettle students and make them uncomfortable in not being able to move past a certain level of understanding. It can also be a challenge to disregard existing understanding to understand a new concept, but still have to remember the old understanding for a different context of the concept. This may confuse students, and moving past the liminal stage may be more difficult or take longer. Approaches to consider would be for the teacher to put themselves in the learner's position to think of how they can educate their students to move past the liminal stage. Strategies the teacher could use would be to apply effective dimensions of learning. These can support student learning and help them to move past liminality. The liminal tunnel can also be used as a resource for teachers to understand how students learn and move past the liminal phase. It can be used to show students how they need to learn. The third learning space we will be exploring is the classroom and the school. Teachers are supported in fully engaging their students when they are able to use the physical classroom environment as a tool to support their teaching. By taking on an open plan learning space approach, teachers are able to support and engage all of their students in individual and differentiated ways. However, teachers may not understand student preferences for design, which can negatively impact their teaching and student learning. Students can be more focused in their learning when they know how they should be working in a learning space, and an open learning space gives them the opportunity to work in groups, collaboratively and cooperatively, which teaches them more skills and further enhances their learning. Students may be challenged in open plan learning spaces due to noise and distractions from other students. Some students may not be able to cope with this. Other students may push boundaries in this sense, where consistent and clear practices haven't been put in place. Teachers need to be able to understand the space and how students should be utilising it. This will enhance their teaching methods and the way that students learn by creating a comfortable classroom environment. Strategies that can be used include anchor charts to give students direction in their learning and during tasks, and displaying student work to reinforce and encourage learning. Resources that teachers may use include a poster of classroom rules to display a sense of community and promote a positive learning environment, visual displays for noise control such as traffic light or number system scales, and using spherical or circular shapes within the learning environment to create student interest. The fourth learning space is beyond the classroom. Teachers need to know their students well in order to support their learning, and teaching beyond the classroom supports learning outcomes for students who do not flourish in a regular classroom environment. Teachers can be involved in professional development sessions and access resources online to benefit their students in learning beyond the four walls of the classroom. Teachers may be challenged by achieving a balance between freedom in learning and structure in learning. Students benefit from learning outside of the classroom by exploring the social environment they live in, and they can be engaged in different ways when they may not always be engaged in regular classroom activities. Learning beyond the classroom also provides students the chance to discover hands-on learning with flexible resources. Students may be challenged when learning beyond the classroom by risks in today's society. This can include OH&S risks, privacy risks, and overall well-being risks to students. Teachers can approach the beyond the classroom learning space by delivering information to students in a way that is contextually relevant. This can be done through incursions, excursions, and the school campus or local community in providing learning spaces that are relevant to the information being taught to students. For example, taking a class to the zoo when they are learning about animals. A resource teachers can refer to when planning an excursion or incursion is the 12-point list provided by Johnson, 2009. This can help in planning and making sure that the activity beyond the classroom will be beneficial to student learning. The fifth learning space is the group collaborative and cooperative learning space. Teachers can use cooperative learning to supplement their teaching and provide students with the opportunity to further their knowledge through their peers. While students work in groups, collaboratively or cooperatively, teachers can utilize their teaching time to work with focus groups or students that need extra assistance. Teachers can be challenged in the group collaborative or cooperative learning space if they do not have professional development provided to them on strategies and approaches that can make a positive impact on student learning when working in groups. Students can benefit from group settings through their peers' views and content knowledge, which can deepen their own understanding. Additionally, students can be motivated by group goals to take each other's learning seriously and work together to explain and understand concepts and complete tasks. Students may be challenged by group work when other group members slack off. This can mean that certain students are marked higher for work they did not complete, or some students are marked lower for other students' lack of contribution. Another challenge can include lesser able students not being able to contribute, and higher able students completing the task themselves. The two approaches to group work have different focuses, and based on content and the purpose of the tasks, teachers can decide which approach to take. Strategies may include team rewards, individual accountability, and equal opportunities for success to motivate students to learn and work together. Teachers can refer to different methods of group work depending on the purpose and content of the task. The sixth and final learning space we will be looking at is the eSpace. The eSpace can support teachers by providing them with online resources to link practices with technology. They can also benefit from hands-on learning collaboration online themselves by learning in an online environment and interacting with other teachers. They can be challenged when they are unable to receive formal training for personal development, and they must seek information on training informally online. This means that teachers have to work harder to create online communities for themselves and for their students. Students can benefit from the eSpace as it can make lessons more interesting. Teachers can incorporate resources, approaches, or activities they have found online or allow students to undertake e-learning activities themselves. Students may be challenged by technical issues or lack of IT funding or equipment. Teachers can approach the eSpace by using online PD to enhance their teaching and therefore positively impact their students' learning. They may also introduce interactive education in an online environment to their students so that they can develop their own knowledge in the same way. Teachers may use strategies such as joining EdChat or creating a blog to connect with other educators and further their knowledge to enhance their teaching. Teachers may use resources such as digital textbooks, interactive websites, and PLN resources for guidance and information. All the information presented has been researched from the following resources. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and have gained a further understanding about the 6 learning spaces. Hopefully, the information provided has given you a deeper knowledge on how the learning spaces can affect both students and teachers negatively and positively, and how they can be incorporated in the redevelopment of the school. Thank you.